All right, let's dive in. You sent over some really interesting research all about AI and localization.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like you're especially interested in the Argos AI Maturity Model,
Yes, the AAM.
the AIMM.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Let's see if we can figure out just how ready companies really are to integrate AI into their localization workflows.
Great.
Now, maybe you are prepping for a meeting or doing some research in the field,
Yeah.
or maybe you're just curious about AI's impact. Whatever your reason, I think you're going to find this deep dive pretty insightful.
I think so too.
I'm curious, have you ever thought about where companies actually are in their AI journey? I mean, we hear all these buzzwords,
Right.
but how much is real action?
That's a good question. There's definitely a lot of hype around AI right now.
Yeah.
But the reality is that many companies are still figuring out how to effectively leverage it. And that's where this Argos AI Maturity Model, the AIMM, comes in.
Okay.
It's a framework that's designed to assess a company's readiness to use AI in localization.
So it's not just about using AI, it's about the bigger picture of understanding and integration.
Exactly. The AMM looks at a company's overall awareness, strategy, and their ability to implement these solutions, AI solutions,
Right.
in a way that truly benefits their localization processes. What's fascinating is that AI maturity isn't just about the technology itself.
Oh, interesting.
It's about the mindset of the company. It's about their organizational structure.
So a company could have all the latest AI tools, but if they haven't figured out how to integrate them,
Right.
they could still be lagging behind.
Absolutely. And that's one of the key insights that the AMM highlights.
Okay.
There's often a disconnect between a company's localization maturity and their AI maturity.
Wait, really? That's interesting. Tell me more about that.
Well, we've seen companies that are incredibly advanced in their localization processes. They're following best practices and operating at a very sophisticated level.
Okay.
But when it comes to AI, they're hesitant, maybe even a little afraid to embrace it fully.
I can see how that could happen.
Right.
Change can be scary,
Right.
especially when it comes to something as potentially disruptive as AI.
Exactly. On the other hand, we've also encountered companies that are relatively new to localization.
Okay.
Maybe they're just starting to expand internationally, but they're diving headfirst into AI, experimenting with new tools and approaches.
Wow.
Often they're kind of leapfrogging ahead of these companies that have been in the localization game for much longer.
So it's not about how long you've been doing localization. It's about how willing you are to embrace new technologies and adapt.
Yeah.
Adapt to a changing landscape.
That's a great way to put it. The AMM, it helps us understand why this disconnect exists
Okay.
by breaking down AI maturity into 5 distinct stages.
5 stages. Okay, walk me through them. I'm ready.
All right. At the most basic level, we have AI aware.
Okay.
Companies in this stage are just beginning to explore the potential of AI for localization.
So they're aware of it, but they haven't really taken any concrete steps to integrate it into their workflows.
Yeah, they might be reading articles, attending webinars, or dabbling with free AI tools.
Got it. So they're dipping their toes in the water, testing the temperature before taking the plunge.
Exactly.
Okay. What happens after they dip their toes in? What's the next stage?
The next level up is AI active.
Okay.
And this is where companies move beyond awareness and they start actively experimenting with AI application.
So instead of just reading about it, they're trying it out,
Right.
running pilot projects and seeing how it works in practice.
Exactly. Think of a company that's using AI-powered machine translation to get a first draft of a translation, which is then reviewed and refined by human translators.
Right.
It's all about testing, learning, and gathering data, seeing how AI can fit into their specific needs and processes.
So it's like a testing ground for AI, where they can play around and see what works without making any major commitment.
A perfect analogy. Now, once a company has successfully implemented at least one AI solution in a real-world setting,
Right.
they move into the AI operational stage.
So it's not just a pilot project anymore. It's part of their regular operations.
Precisely. They've moved beyond experimentation. They've integrated AI into their actual workflows. They usually have a dedicated budget for AI initiatives.
Oh, wow.
And they might even have an executive sponsor championing the cause.
Okay. So it's starting to become more official and strategic at this stage.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Well, as companies become more comfortable with AI and start to see its value, They progress to the AI systemic stage.
AI systemic.
Here, AI is woven into multiple processes,
Okay.
not just within the localization team, but potentially across other departments as well.
So it's becoming more integrated, more widespread throughout the company.
Exactly. There's a broader understanding of AI's capabilities, and people are actively looking for ways to leverage it to improve their work.
Sounds like AI is starting to become part of the company's DNA at this point.
That's a great way to describe it. And finally, we have the AI transformed stage, which is the holy grail of AI maturity.
Okay, the AI transform stage. That sounds pretty impressive. What does it look like?
This is where AI becomes truly central to a company's operations,
Okay.
and it fundamentally reshapes how they create and deliver content.
So they're not just using AI, they're living AI.
Exactly.
Oh.
Their team roles might even be evolving. People are becoming more like content strategists,
Wow.
AI pilots guiding the technology
Interesting.
and ensuring it's used effectively.
Wow, that sounds like a major transformation. But you mentioned that this is the holy grail of AI maturity.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's rare to find companies at this stage?
That's right. The AI transformed stage is still largely aspirational. Most companies are still in those early stages of their AI journey.
So there's a lot of room for growth and development in this space.
Absolutely. But even though most companies are still in the early stages, it's important to understand the full spectrum of AI maturity. The AIMM provides a roadmap, a framework for thinking about how AI can be integrated into localization and what steps companies can take to advance their AI journey.
Okay. So we've got this roadmap with 5 stages.
Yes.
But what actually drives a company's progression through these stages? What factors influence their AI maturity level?
Well, Argos identifies 4 key dimensions that play a crucial role:
Okay.
operations, technology, people, and knowledge, and strategy.
Okay. 4 key dimensions. Operations, technology, people, and knowledge, and strategy. Sounds like we have a lot to unpack there.
We do, and that's what we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive. We'll look at each of these dimensions in detail and see how they contribute to a company's overall AI maturity. Welcome back. Ready to delve a little bit deeper into those 4 dimensions that shape a company's AI maturity?
Absolutely. I'm all ears.
Yeah.
They really do seem to hold the key to understanding why some companies are, like, racing ahead while others are lagging behind.
Yeah, they do. They provide a practical framework for companies to assess their own strengths and weaknesses as well. Let's start with operations.
Okay, operations. What does that encompass when we're talking about AI maturity?
Well, it boils down to this.
Yeah.
What's the scope of your content creation and your localization efforts? The volume of content, the variety of formats, the languages you're targeting, how complex your workflows are, all of this plays a role.
So it's about understanding the nuts and bolts of your localization operation.
Exactly. And then figuring out where AI fits into that picture. Are there bottlenecks that AI could help streamline? Are there tasks that could be automated or augmented by AI?
Right. So it's not just about, like, throwing AI at a problem, but strategically aligning it.
That's a key point. Let's say you're a company and you're dealing with a huge volume of user-generated content that needs to be moderated and translated quickly.
Right.
AI-powered tools for content analysis and machine translation could be game changers in that scenario.
Right. It's about finding the right tools for the job.
Yeah.
And that starts with understanding your operations.
Now let's move on to the technology dimension. This one is pretty straightforward.
Okay, technology. What do companies need to consider here?
Well, first and foremost, they need to assess their current technology stack. Does it support AI integration? Can their existing systems talk to AI-powered tools?
Right.
Or are they working with, outdated technology that's going to hold them back?
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. You need the right technological foundation.
Exactly. And then there's the build versus buy decision. Do they have the resources and the expertise to develop their own AI solutions in-house? Or does it make more sense to leverage existing AI platforms and tools?
That's a tough decision. I mean, building your own gives you more control.
Yeah.
But it's a huge investment, too.
It is. And it might not be the right choice for every company. There are some fantastic AI tools and platforms out there that can be customized to fit specific needs. It's about finding that balance between customization and efficiency.
So technology is the backbone of AI integration. But we can't forget about the human element, right?
Yes.
That brings us to people and knowledge.
That's right. Technology is only part of the equation. You can have the most advanced AI tools in the world, but if your team isn't equipped to use them effectively, you're not going to achieve true AI maturity.
Right. So it's about having the right people with the right skills and knowledge.
Absolutely. Do you have in-house AI expertise? Are your localization professionals comfortable working with AI-powered tools? Are you investing in training and development to keep your team up to speed?
It's about creating a culture of AI literacy within the company.
Exactly. Think about it this way. If your team sees AI as a threat, as something that's going to take their jobs, they're going to resist it. But if they understand how AI can empower them, how it can free them up from tedious tasks and allow them to focus on more creative and strategic work, they'll be much more likely to embrace it.
Right. So it's about changing mindsets and helping people see the potential of AI. But it's also about providing them with the skills and support they need to thrive in this AI-powered workplace.
That's a crucial point. And that brings us to our final dimension, strategy. This is where it all comes together.
Okay, strategy. What role does strategy play in AI maturity?
Strategy is the guiding force that ensures that your AI initiatives are aligned with your company's overall goals. Without a clear strategy, AI adoption can easily become fragmented and ineffective.
Okay. So it's about having a roadmap, like a plan for how you're going to integrate AI into your localization processes.
Exactly. And that plan needs to address some key questions. Who's driving AI adoption within the company? Is there a dedicated AI champion or team? What are the specific goals you're trying to achieve with AI? How will you measure success?
So it's not just about implementing AI, it's about implementing it in a way that's strategic and purposeful.
Right. It's about ensuring that AI is being used to solve real business problems and deliver tangible value.
These four dimensions, operations, technology, people, and knowledge, and strategy, they really do paint a comprehensive picture of what AI maturity really entails. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about the entire ecosystem that supports AI integration.
That's a great way to summarize it. And what's interesting is that these dimensions are interconnected. They all influence each other.
So if a company is weak in one dimension, it's likely to impact the others.
Exactly. Let's say a company has a fantastic AI strategy. They're investing in cutting-edge technology.
Right.
But they haven't addressed the people and knowledge dimension.
Okay.
Their team might be resistant to AI, or they lack the skills to use it effectively. That's going to hinder their progress, no matter how good their strategy or technology might be.
It's like a chain. If one link is weak, the whole chain is weak.
A perfect analogy. That's why it's so important to approach AI maturity holistically, considering all four dimensions and how they interact with each other.
Okay, so we have this framework, this understanding of the four key dimensions. But how does it actually play out in the real world? Could you give me some examples of companies at different stages of AI maturity and how these dimensions come into play?
Absolutely. Let's start with a hypothetical company at the AI-aware stage.
Yeah.
Imagine a small e-commerce business that's just starting to think about expanding internationally.
Okay.
They've heard about AI-powered translation tools, but haven't really explored them in depth.
So they're aware of AI, but they're not quite sure what to do with it yet.
Exactly. In terms of operations, they might be dealing with a relatively small volume of content, mainly product descriptions, marketing materials.
Okay.
Their technology might be pretty basic. They're probably using spreadsheets and email to manage their translations. They might not have any in-house AI expertise.
Right.
And their strategy for AI adoption is, well, non-existent.
So they're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Which can be both daunting and exciting.
It is. But the good news is that they have a lot of room for growth. Now let's jump to the other end of the spectrum and look at a hypothetical company at the AI operational stage. Imagine a large software company that releases frequent updates and new features for a global user base.
Okay, so they're dealing with a much larger volume of content.
Right.
And a much faster pace of development.
Exactly. In terms of operations, they've probably streamlined their localization workflows and implemented translation management systems to handle the volume and complexity of their content. They've invested in AI-powered translation tools, and they might even be using AI for tasks like quality assurance and terminology management.
So they've embraced AI, and they've integrated it into their core operations.
That's right. They likely have dedicated AI experts on their team and have developed a clear strategy for AI adoption that's aligned with their overall business goals.
They've made a conscious decision to leverage AI to improve their efficiency and their scalability. Now, I'm curious about the companies that are in between these two extremes. What does it look like for companies that are AI active or AI systemic?
Yeah, those are the companies that are really starting to hit their stride with AI adoption.
Mhm.
They've moved beyond experimentation and are seeing the tangible benefits of AI integration. Let's take an AI active company, maybe a marketing agency, working with multiple clients. They might be experimenting with different AI-powered tools for content creation, translation, even transcreation.
So they're trying different things. They're seeing what sticks, trying to figure out what works best for them.
Exactly. They're still learning and refining their approach, but they're actively exploring the possibilities of AI. In terms of technology, they might be using a combination of off-the-shelf AI tools and some custom solutions.
Okay.
They might have a few AI enthusiasts on their team, but they're probably still building their AI expertise.
Right. So they're on the right track, but they still have some work to do in terms of like building a more comprehensive AI strategy and developing their team skills.
Right. And then we have AI systemic companies. These are the ones that have really started to embed AI into their DNA. Imagine a large media company that produces content across multiple platforms and languages. They might be using AI for everything from content generation and translation to personalization and even content delivery.
Wow, that's AI on a whole other level.
It is. Their operations are likely highly optimized for AI integration. They might have a centralized AI team that's responsible for developing and implementing AI solutions across the company. They've invested in building a robust AI infrastructure, including data management, machine learning models, and ethical guidelines.
So they've created an ecosystem that supports AI adoption
Yeah,
and ensures that it's being used responsibly and ethically.
exactly. And most importantly, they've fostered a culture of AI literacy throughout the company. People at all levels understand the potential of AI and are actively looking for ways to leverage it to improve their work.
Like AI has become part of their daily vocabulary and their way of thinking.
Exactly. They're not just using AI, they're collaborating with AI.
These real-world examples really bring the AM to life. It's clear that AI maturity is a journey,
Yeah,
and every company is at a different point on that journey.
that's right. And the AMM provides a valuable framework for understanding where you are on that journey and what steps you can take to move forward.
Okay, so we've covered the 4 key dimensions,
Right?
and we've looked at some real-world examples. But now I'm wondering, are there any common pitfalls or challenges that companies should be aware of as they navigate their AI journey?
Yeah.
Like, what are some things to watch out for?
That's an excellent question. And the truth is, there are several potential pitfalls that companies can stumble upon if they're not careful. One of the most common mistakes is diving headfirst into AI without a clear strategy or understanding of their goals.
So it's not enough to just buy the latest shiny AI tool. You need to have a plan.
Exactly. It's like setting off on a road trip without a map or a destination in mind. You might enjoy the scenery along the way,
Right.
but you're unlikely to reach your desired destination.
Okay, so strategy is crucial.
Yes.
What other pitfalls should companies be aware of?
Another common challenge is underestimating the importance of data. AI algorithms are only as good as the data they're trained on.
Right.
If you're feeding your AI system with biased, incomplete, or inaccurate data, you're likely to get flawed results.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Precisely. Data quality is paramount. Companies need to invest in data cleaning, data governance, data management to ensure that their AI systems are working with reliable, representative data.
So data is the fuel that powers the AI engine.
Exactly. And just like a car needs high-quality fuel to run smoothly, AI systems need high-quality data to deliver accurate and reliable results.
What about the human element? Are there any pitfalls related to people and knowledge?
Absolutely. One of the biggest challenges is overcoming resistance to change. AI can be disruptive,
Right.
and it often requires people to learn new skills and adapt to new ways of working. If employees feel threatened by AI or they don't understand how it will benefit them, they're likely to resist its adoption.
Change can be scary, especially when it comes to technology.
That's true. That's why it's crucial to involve employees in the AI journey from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Communicate clearly about the goals, the benefits, the potential impact of AI. Provide training and support to help employees develop the skills they need to thrive in an AI-powered workplace.
So it's about bringing people along on the journey, not leaving them behind.
Exactly. AI adoption should be a collaborative effort, not a top-down mandate. Now, one final pitfall I'd like to highlight is the tendency to focus too much on the technology and not enough on the business problem you're trying to solve.
So don't get caught up in the hype of AI for AI's sake.
Precisely. AI is a powerful tool, but it's not a magic bullet.
Right.
It's essential to start with a clear understanding of the business challenge you're trying to address, and then determine if AI is the right solution. Don't fall into the trap of implementing AI just because it's trendy or because your competitors are doing it.
It's about using AI strategically to achieve specific business objectives.
Exactly. AI should be a means to an end, not an end in itself.
This has been incredibly insightful. We've covered so much ground of the 4 key dimensions of AI maturity, real-world examples of companies at different stages, and common pitfalls to avoid. But there's one question that's still lingering in my mind. What does all of this mean for the future?
The future. Always an exciting and somewhat uncertain territory. If most companies are still in those early stages of AI maturity, what does this mean for the evolution of localization? What skills and strategies will be most valuable in a world where AI plays a central role in content creation and delivery?
Those are big questions. I'm eager to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
So we talked about the present state of AI maturity and the pitfalls, the things that companies might encounter.
Right.
But I'm curious about your thoughts on what all this means for the future of localization. What does the future hold?
Well, the future of localization is, it's really linked, inextricably linked with AI. It's not a question of if AI will play a major role, but how.
Right, yeah. It really feels like we're at a tipping point where AI is becoming more sophisticated,
Yeah.
more accessible,
Absolutely, yeah.
like every day.
And as that technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more powerful tools for translation, content creation, localization, workflow management. We'll likely see a shift from rule-based AI systems to those more sophisticated machine learning-powered solutions.
So AI is going to get smarter,
Yeah.
more capable.
Yeah.
But what does that mean for the humans?
Right.
I mean, are we all going to be replaced by robots?
That's the big question. It comes up a lot.
Yeah,
And it's understandable. I mean, change can be unsettling.
for sure.
But I believe that AI is more likely to augment human capabilities rather than replace humans entirely.
So it's not about humans versus machines. It's more about humans and machines working together.
Exactly. Think of it as a collaboration.
Okay.
AI can handle many of the repetitive, time-consuming tasks,
Right.
freeing up human translators and localization professionals to focus on those higher-level activities, the ones that require creativity, cultural sensitivity, a nuanced understanding.
So instead of spending, hours on tedious tasks, they can focus on the things that AI isn't good at, the
Yeah.
things that really require human intelligence and intuition.
Precisely.
Yeah.
For example, AI can be great at generating a first draft of a translation, but it might miss those subtle cultural nuances or make mistakes that a human translator would easily catch.
Right.
So the human translator can then refine that AI-generated translation, make sure it's accurate, make sure it's culturally appropriate, and reads naturally.
So AI becomes a tool that empowers translators to work more efficiently and effectively.
That's right. Like having a superpowered assistant, that can handle all the heavy lifting and allow you to focus on what you're best at.
This all sounds very promising.
Yeah.
But are there any skills or qualities that localization professionals should be focusing on to thrive in this new AI-powered world?
Absolutely. Adaptability is key.
Okay.
The localization landscape is changing so rapidly. Professionals need to be willing to embrace those new technologies and learn new skills.
So be a lifelong learner, stay curious, and don't be afraid to, step outside your comfort zone a little bit.
Exactly. And beyond technical skills, I think there's a growing need for what we might call human-centered skills.
Human-centered skills.
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
Well, things like critical thinking, problem solving, communication, collaboration. Those skills are very difficult to automate. And they're going to become even more valuable as AI takes on more of the technical tasks.
So it's not just about understanding the technology.
Right.
It's about understanding the people and the cultures that technology is serving.
That's a great point. Localization is ultimately about connecting with people across cultures, and that requires a deep understanding of human behavior, cultural nuances, and the art of communication.
So the future of localization belongs to those who can kind of bridge that gap between the technology and humanity.
Yes.
Those who can leverage the power of AI while preserving the human touch. The thing that makes localization so special.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I agree. This has been a really insightful deep dive. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listener, thank you for joining us on this exploration of AI maturity and localization. We hope you've gained some valuable insights into this evolving landscape. the challenges and the opportunities, and of course, the evolving role of the localization professional in this new era. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.